Building a multi-million-dollar launch vehicle, flying it into space exactly once, and discarding it entirely after a single mission was the accepted reality. For most of spaceflight history, this was the standard approach. The enormous engineering and manufacturing investment required for every rocket was fully consumed by a single mission, with the hardware discarded as soon as its primary task was complete. This single-use model kept launch costs high enough to act as an artificial ceiling. When every trip requires a completely new vehicle, the cost of reaching orbit remains too expensive for all but the most well-funded programs. To unlock space, engineers had to solve a specific problem: how to bring the largest and most expensive section of the rocket back to Earth intact. The limited frequency of orbital missions throughout the 20th century was a direct result of this physical waste. Real progress in orbit required a shift towards systems built for physical reuse. Reusable launch vehicles target the first stage, the largest and most expensive section of the rocket. By recovering this hardware, the substantial cost of building the vehicle is spread across many flights, rather than being lost to a single mission. Rather than falling in a ballistic arc, the stage must perform a controlled, powered descent. It requires the precision to land vertically, either on a ground pad or a specialized vessel at sea. This requires engines capable of restarting reliably in midair, often just seconds after completing the high-intensity burn that pushed the rocket out of the lower atmosphere. To steer, engineers use grid fins and aerodynamic control surfaces, allowing the stage to actively manipulate its trajectory. Re-entry also creates a thermal challenge. The stage experiences significant aerodynamic heating, requiring robust protection systems to survive the friction. Successfully executing a vertical landing proves the vehicle is a precision-steered craft, capable of returning to a specific set of coordinates rather than vanishing into the ocean. Simply returning the rocket to the landing pad is only the first step toward lower costs. Reusable rocket engines must be designed specifically for durability. Unlike traditional engines built for a single peak performance, these systems have to withstand the mechanical stress of multiple flights and landings without structural failure. If engineers are forced to perform extensive, time-consuming inspections and rebuilds between every flight, the financial benefits of reusability would be completely erased. Real economic savings depend on the speed of the turnaround. Reusability only changes the market when engineers can solve the rapid logistics required to relaunch the hardware. This chart shows the result of that efficiency. Spreading manufacturing costs across many flights triggered a sharp drop in the price of reaching orbit, while the frequency of commercial launches began to rise exponentially. These new economics made massive commercial satellite constellations financially feasible. Missions that were once too expensive to fund are now a routine part of the modern space economy. Space tourism has transitioned into a commercial reality. Multiple companies now market suborbital and orbital flights directly to paying private customers. This trend toward commercialization is even visible in habitat design. Private space stations are under development to eventually complement or replace the aging International Space Station. Lowering the cost of entry decentralized the industry. Space is no longer the exclusive territory of national agencies. It has become a viable, competitive marketplace for private enterprise. The relationship between governments and the private sector has shifted. Space agencies now frequently partner with commercial providers for launch services, rather than developing every system entirely in-house. This shift is global. International agencies, including India's ISRO with their NGLV Surya, are pivoting toward reusable technology to keep their programs competitive. This expansion has a physical consequence. The space around Earth is suddenly experiencing unprecedented levels of traffic. A crowded orbit requires new regulatory frameworks. Governments and companies now have to coordinate on space debris management, collision avoidance, and liability as the orbital environment becomes more congested. Mastering the physics of recovery ended the era of space as an empty, pristine frontier. Today, humanity must manage orbit as a busy, interconnected global economy.